Y'all, please listen to this story. I just happened to be scrolling, I think on Facebook, and I saw it. But anyway, this lady over here, her name was Stephanie Brinson. Sometimes Stephanie Dow is what they called her. But anyway, this was her husband, David Brinson. Now, David Brinson is serving a 4 consecutive life sentences in prison in California for a crime that he committed when he was like 18 years old. We'll get into that later. This was his wife, and apparently she was riding out his 4 consecutive life sentences with him, right? So apparently the prison where he's at in California, they give prisoners, with good behavior, conjugal visit privileges in like some apartment style, whatever units on the prison ground. So apparently his wife, Stephanie, had come to visit him. This happened back in November 2024. Apparently she had went to go, spend the night. One of these conjugal visits was like overnight or whatever, spending it with her husband. Y'all, why did her husband, David, alert prison guards sometime over in the night saying that his wife had passed out, and by the time prison guards were able to get in there to her, she was dead. She was pronounced dead. Well, come to find out, Miss Stephanie, who was 62, I believe, she did not pass out. Her husband, David, murdered her, strangled her to death, and, made it seem like she passed out or whatever. But apparently, police didn't notice until 4 months later, when it finally came out in the autopsy or whatever, that she didn't pass out. She was actually strangled. So like I said, this man was in prison 4 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 20 years. He was never ever going to see the outside of a prison ground again. And even his appeals, to try to get released, because he claimed that he was only 18 when he committed those murders of those 4 men, so he shouldn't have to do life in prison. Even that was turned down. The courts was like, no, you are staying in prison. And my thing is, I understand, because I have a brother who is in prison for a couple of years or whatever. I understand you wanting to, ride it out with your man or whatever, but you ride it out on men who have a chance of maybe one day getting out, if that's what you want to do. Me personally, I will not be a ride or die chick. I done been in that situation as well, and I ain't about that life, okay? You go to prison, well, you have a nice life, and I hope you get yourself the help you need. But yeah, I will not be putting my life on hold, especially for somebody who is never ever going to get out. I can see you waiting around maybe a couple of years or whatever, but 4 consecutive life terms, baby, the way I would have told him this, girl, first of all, we're getting divorced, and that would have been the end of that. But sadly and tragically, this lady, for whatever reason, chose to still, you know what I'm saying, whether it was faithfully or not, she chose to still stay married to this man and ride out his 4 consecutive life terms with him. And how does he repay her? By unaliving her. And that's just what I'm saying. Like, we gotta stop. We have got to stop caring more for these men than they care about us. I'm quite sure that his jealousy or whatever probably made him feel like, you know what, if I can't live and I can't be free, you ain't gonna live and be free either. I mean, just looking at him, he looks crazy as hell. Like, ain't no way, baby, he wouldn't have never seen me. And so her son is now upset, rightfully so. And I think even suing the prison, saying that they should not have left his mother unsupervised with this man, even though that was her husband, and even though he was allegedly on good behavior, but that the visit should not have been unsupervised. So it does not say whether a lawsuit, is being brought or what's going on with that, because I think they're just now coming, to understand that he murdered this lady. But I'm just like, is it the prison's fault, or I don't know. Like, you know, like I said, they gave prisoners on good behavior these conjugal visits that are like, you know, 24 hours or something like that. Should they still be supervised though? I don't know. All I know is this beautiful lady lost her life while trying to, you know, be down, be supportive of a no good man. And I want us to stop that, because honestly, I feel that if it was the other way around and she went to prison on 4 life sentences, you know damn well he wasn't gonna stick around and wait on her. Probably wouldn't have even went to go visit her. So the fact that she gave her life, you know, for somebody who so easily took it, is just all around tragic. But I will definitely be paying more attention, because I want to see, because her son is livid. He should be. So I want to see what more is going to happen. So stay tuned.